Welcome to Kneecap Biting, Smoking Jeremy B's NFL Roundtable Talk. I got a few guests with me, but as of for right now, I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Biting by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, I got a couple guests with me. The main one here, let's start it off with Detroit Dom of Sideline Sports, and he's going to bring in the guest that he invited.
You should have brought us in one by one, fool. There goes my whole intro smoke. The gentleman you see in the bottom left corner is a cohort of mine from Sideline Sports. Also a how do you say that? Co-host of Basket Bros on Sunday nights, also on Sideline Sports. You may have also seen him on the Sip Off. You had to have seen him on my show, The Gauntlet, 8 p.m. on Saturdays, also on Sideline Sports. Round of applause for the kid Will. I forgot all your nicknames. Willer Light. Representing the Carolina Panthers, Will Vogel. Thanks for coming on, Will.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me. I really do.
And, of course, we have Dan Leonard, the Giants/Lions fan down here in the bottom right who has his camera off.
Yeah, I'm working on something nobody can see right now.
All right. Nemo Crenshaw, who's a Ravens fan, pops in and says, "What's up? Good to see you, Nemo. Glad you're watching." That being said, we're going to go over a little bit of the NFL news. Roger Goodell has came out to say that he's still trying to make sure that's a 1-year indefinite suspension for Watson, but it may end up being less because of all the suits that came up against the Texans from the other 42 people that made complaints to him about what went on during Watson's career there. And they have settled out of court with 30 of them.
I saw something the other day. I knew it was fake, but that he wasn't going to get suspended.
Yeah, it was put out by the Sports Troll.
I think he gets suspended at least a year.
I think he gets the year and at minimum 8 games.
Nothing. You already sat out a year.
Yeah, he sat out a year because the Texans refused to play him and just left him on the inactive list. That's a big difference. Nemo Crescent says, "How is Deshaun Elliott? He is healthy and playing at camp. I cannot wait to go see him." Joseph Host also pops in and says, "How's it going, Smokin' Jeremy? Well, I'm going to be talking NFL football, so I'm as happy as all gets out." And on a sad note, Chris Carson of the Seahawks has retired due to a neck injury, which means now their running back 1 is Rashad Penny and their running back 2 temporarily is Kenneth Walker, K9.
Let's go, K9.
Is that how it lines up? What happened to DJ Dallas? I thought they still had him on the roster, too.
He hasn't sniffed the playing field, so I think he's probably there as practice squad fodder.
I think Kenneth Walker could steal that job from Penny.
I don't know. Rashad Penny, it seems like he finally got it figured out last year. He certainly bent us over and jail sexed us during the fantasy playoffs as well.
And you liked it.
And Keegan Eckert says, "So far, Seattle is a dumpster fire. Now Chris Carson retired with his neck injury.
It's funny. I didn't know.
Kenneth Walker time.
I didn't know that that is, A, I didn't know it was a neck injury. B, I didn't know it was career threatening. But when they drafted Walker, I was like, wow, like Penny just started to show out. They still got like I was kind of irritated, other than the fact that I can get that the antifreeze green Kenneth Walker jersey. Now he's actually going to play more.
Right.
I hate to see it for Chris Carson, I really do. But this offseason for the Seahawks has been just rough. Losing Russell Wilson and now this. I think the team is definitely in full rebuild mode.
They're going for Bryce Young, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Facebook user says,
even
go
though
ahead.
I'm not an Ohio State fan, I think CJ Stroud's a tad bit better.
He's an Ohio State quarterback. Don't say that again.
I know. I don't like Ohio State either. Trust me. It hurts a little bit. It stings. Like, literally, I just felt like a little jab in my stomach.
Seattle coach is loyal to his guys. Walker will take over when Penny gets hurt again. That is probably a fair assessment, but... And then Facebook user says, yo. Facebook user Seattle coach comment is from James Stricker. All right, James. He's out of Saginaw, Michigan here. One of my good friends. We talk Lions all the time when I'm not on the air. That being said, and also in other news, shocker, Sammy Watkins hits the PUP list in Green Bay.
I hate to see it because I'm a Clemson fan and I love Sammy, but the guy just needs to hang it up.
Hey, if someone
in my opinion,
I was worried about us drafting him several years ago.
And Facebook user says, hi, guys. And that Facebook user is Micro Mike. All right, Micro, good to see you in here. Let's see. What else has there been lately? Oh, yeah, we know that Baker went to the Panthers, and he's taken the field and competing with Sam Darnold. I don't think it's a competition.
I don't either. I think, what else? I think I read the 49ers met up with Garoppolo and officially said to his face.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio
today.
With
Trey. We're going with Trey.
Shanahan did a presser. Trey Lance is officially the guy.
Yep. And Joseph, was there a line beat? Yes, it was KJ Wright signed a one-day contract to retire from the Seahawks today.
Yeah, I remember him.
Will, you guys should just figure out a way to void that trade for Baker and then go get Jimmy G.
I like Baker, but yeah, Jimmy G would have been.
Why?
I just have always kind of liked him. Julio Jones go to the Bucks. Watch Julio Jones become the third receiver. It's going to go Mike Evans.
Julio Jones will be the guy to move the chains on third down and still be allergic to the red zone and not get double-digit touchdowns.
Exactly, because you got Mike Evans and you got Chris Godwin.
Right.
And Mike Evans is one of the best receivers in the
Mike
game.
Evans is... I mean, he gets more of the accolades, not nearly enough. Like he's not underrated the way that DJ Moore is, because people realize that he's really good. But I'm pretty sure Mike Evans holds an NFL record for consecutive 1,000-yard years to start a career.
He does.
Granted, one of those years he barely got to 1,000. He's just
he's
really good.
I've always liked him. I've been a fan of him for a while.
Stephen King says, what's going on, guys? Not much, Stephen. Good to see you. He's tuning in from Canada. And Facebook user Trey Lance was primed up to start. He might be a good QB down the line. I said, yeah, and I still have them as either the second or third place team. It depends on if the Kingsbury collapse happens again, as it's happened every year of his head coaching career.
I agree.
Yeah, people try to put that on
Kyler
Murray, but really, yeah, it's Kingsbury. It's like John Gruden.
Right.
Yep.
And then other Seahawks news, DK Metcalf reported to camp today amidst going through the contract extension talks.
Yeah.
I'm
not. DK's a very controversial
player. He is, and you know what I think he's gonna be? So far, he reminds me a lot of Des Bryant.
I agree 100%.
Like a lot of talent early in his career.
A faster version of Des Bryant, 100%.
Diva, really, really good. thinks he's better than he is. If he was as good as he thinks he is, he'd be elite.
Oh.
But I think he might flame out like Des.
All right,
I agree.
this was called in one of the NFL chats. Here it comes. D Ford, defensive end, was let go by the Niners. I think he had a back injury. Could he pass a physical with the Lions? He was a good player with the Chiefs. We literally had this conversation in a Lions group chat earlier. I said, this is going to get brought up tonight.
Does that offsides cost his team a playoff victory, D Ford?
Yes.
We don't. How old is he?
Just 28, 29.
We probably don't have the money.
We only got $9 million in cap room total, which that might sign him because he just came off of a back injury.
He's 31. Pass.
He's 31. Nope. Out. I'm out.
Nope. I would say
Anyway,
no.
real quick, how you guys were just talking about DK there. Have you noticed the past year and a half, Russell Wilson hasn't been Russell Wilson?
Yep.
So right there, I think has done a lot to his production. Say he got traded to Green Bay or Kansas City, that guy's a top 5 receiver in the league.
Probably, yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
I mean, talent-wise, he probably is. He's just, in all actuality, he's probably just in or just outside of the top 10, but he thinks he's the best receiver in the NFL. And sorry, not sorry, pick a hair color, preferably one naturally occurring in nature, and go with it.
For real.
Keegan Eckert. The New Jerseys that teams are revealing, man, the Bears look like a traffic cone.
Yes, they do.
I've always liked the orange Bears jerseys. The orange helmet, it's too much.
Yeah, it looks just like the Fighting Illini, and a lot of the Chicago fans are now calling them the Chicago Illini.
The new helmets are sick. I'm excited for the new helmets.
There were times in the mid to when the Bears were really, really bad. There were times where I think the Illini could have challenged the Bears in a scrimmage.
Facts. Back when they had Juice. When they had Juice and Mikel Shore. Yeah, exactly.
Rashard Mendenhall.
Yep. Atlanta Falcons signed defensive lineman Darian Daniels.
No idea who that is.
The Ravens signed another wide receiver nobody's heard of, Bailey Gaither.
Nope.
It doesn't matter.
The Cincinnati Bengals have signed quarterback Drew Pitt and waived cornerback John Brannon.
No idea.
Keegan Eckert said that would have been the Cutler years, which still to this day, he has the record for most yards thrown by a Chicago quarterback at 3,800.
How?
I was just looking up Mikel Shore. I didn't know he had he probably never played a game. He signed with the BC Lions in February of 2016, but then he got cut in May.
Yep. The Denver Broncos signed veteran tackle Cameron Fleming.
No idea.
The Green Bay Packers released Khalif Bryce. He was a practice squad guy, no big deal. The Miami Dolphins signed another cornerback, Tino Ellis. Defensive tackle Devon Gacho has signed a 2-year, $20 million extension with after incentives could equal to $16 million a year with the Patriots.
Who?
Davon Godchaux, 5th-round pick. What team was he from? God, from 2017.
Was it? No.
Javante Mofat was released defensive back from the Jets, and they signed defensive back Luke Barco, whoever that is.
Patriot, he played at LSU, drafted by the Dolphins.
5th round.
Literally never heard of him. And his Wikipedia picture is of him playing softball in what appears to be the rain. Whatever, the Patriots are irrelevant.
Keegan Eckert brings up something good. David Ojabo is the only rookie that doesn't have a contract.
I wouldn't necessarily give him one either. He was when I was looking at the draft the other day, he was the next DN that went after all those ones in the first round.
Yep.
But he's a Raven. I'm sure he'll be good.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm quite sure.
It's like Ravens defensive players are great. Ravens wide receivers are terrible.
Marquise Brown was pretty good, and yeah.
Unless you take in the fact that he had almost a 20% drop rate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About
true.
an 80% drop rate in that game against us. If he catches 2 of those, let
It's a
alone all
game
3,
over.
we get blown out. But
John,
we like losing to Justin Tucker on 60+ yard field goals. We love it.
his first game against us in prime time, it was a 61-yard career long field goal he hit, or was it 51?
No, it was 60 or 61. It was on a Sunday
61.
night.
Yeah,
I know because I used to have my big TV and there was like 15 of us down here watching that game, and we all just went silent, and then the air went out of the room.
At 31, and he hasn't played a full season in 3 seasons. D Ford only had 18 regular season games over 3 seasons.
Do not sign this guy.
Yep.
We won't.
JB, do you know why Ojabu didn't sign yet? What the holdup is?
What? Money?
Guaranteed money in the 3rd year of the contract. The percentage of it.
And then Chicago Bears have placed linebacker Roquan Smith on the PUP list to start camp.
He's holding out, though.
But
right?
he's holding out, right? The Cincinnati Bengals activated guard Alex Kappa and running back Samaje Perine from the PUP list. Dallas Cowboys placed receivers Michael Gallup, Dontario Drummond, cornerback Quandre Mosley, linebacker Aaron Hansford, and linebacker Damone Clark onto the reserve NFI PUP list.
I know Gallup. I don't know the other guys.
Why is Jamison Williams on the non-football injury list?
Because it happened in college, not in the NFL, so it's a non-football injury. Jason Kabinda hits the PUP list, and safety C.J. Moore got put onto the non-football injury list. And backup tackle Dan Skepper is on the non-football injury list or illness list.
I know Bakhtiari. Something happened with David Bakhtiari recently. I just can't remember.
Yeah, he's on the PUP list too.
Yep, he's on the PUP list. Sammy Watkins. Christian Watson had to undergo some surgery, and he's missing time too.
That dude can't stay healthy. Wasn't it Bakhtiari last year that missed like almost the whole season?
Like the last 9 games.
Right. Like they thought he was only going to miss like every couple weeks. They're like, he's coming back. And then I think he just never did.
Yep.
Well, Google has, I remember seeing this list the other day, like tallest players of all time. Dan Skipper was like in the top 10. He's either 6'9" or 6'10".
Mike McDaniel says quarterback Byron Jones, Raheem Mostert, Teron Armstead, and Alec Ingold are all on limited camp right now. So, New Orleans Saints
Raheem
place
Mostert, if you're watching, fuck you. Stay healthy when I take you in the first round.
And Pete Werner came into the NFL draft injured, and he's on the NFI list as well for the Saints.
Mostert's a Dolphin now, right?
Yep, that was the Dolphins. That's why I said Mike McDaniel. He's the head coach now.
Don't they have one other like halfway decent running back? Maybe they have Jordan Howard still. Maybe.
Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles placed tight ends Tyree Jackson, Richard Rodgers, and offensive tackle Brett Toth on the PUP list. San Francisco 49ers, Jason Verrett, Charlie Werner on the team's PUP list, and rookie defensive lineman Kalia Davis was placed on the
Jason
NFI list.
Verrett, you say?
Yeah.
That dude. That dude has missed more games in his career than he's played, and it's not close.
True.
What do I think about Campbell doing drills in camp with the players? It's one of the reasons why they played and ran through walls for him and was in as many close games as they were last year. There's only 2 coaches that have done drills in the last 10 years with their team, and I can name them for you. Mike Tomlin and Dan Campbell.
Yep.
Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin has avoided starting training camp on the team's PUP list. Still dealing with his knee injury.
Still dealing with being a fraudulent receiver getting paid like he's a number one. He will fall flatter. I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen because they keep bringing him back, but he's the next Juju minus the TikTok.
Rashawn Melvin of the cornerback of the Panthers retired.
Yeah, I don't know much about Melvin, but it's fine.
He's just old.
Yeah, he's 33.
Yeah, we have J.C. Horn. We're fine. We have J.C. Horn, and we also got I don't remember if he's
Caleb Parley. Is that the other one? Caleb Parley, right?
No, J.C. Horn and Xavier Woods, maybe.
Yeah. And that is basically it because we already
Dante Jackson,
AJ Wright.
Yep.
Because that was the last one. Because the retirements were the last three things on there.
Xavier Woods. Why does that sound so familiar?
Because he was a
Vikings.
Cowboy.
Yeah, he was a Viking.
And a Cowboy before that.
Xavier Rhodes.
The most important retirement of all. Vince McMahon retired.
That being said, Will, you got any local news on the Panthers you want to share that you've heard lately?
I've got nothing really besides this quarterback controversy.
Controversy. I think it's no competition.
Baker Mayfield I don't either. Win it. I have not heard anything. No.
All right. Dan, you got any Giants news?
That was all your thunder? Thoughts, opinions? I
don't know. We could run by the schedule. I don't know.
Strong points, weak points. How many wins do you finish with? A floor, a ceiling, any of that?
Okay, sure. I'll go through those. Our defense should be pretty good again. We got Jeremy Chin. We got Brian Burns. We did lose Hassan Riddick, which hurts.
A lot.
A lot.
Who got him?
The Raiders.
The Raiders signed him? I thought he went to the Eagles. Yeah, he went to the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
And then our offense, we got Robbie, we got DJ, we got McCaffrey. Like you said, over-under on wins, I think we got 6 or 7 wins in us.
As much as I hate to say it, I put you in the 6 to 8 win window myself, just because the fail cunts are that bad.
Yes, they are awful. And I hope they suck forever. Same with the Saints.
Oh, did I say that wrong? Falcons. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you said it right first. You said it right first.
Today?
I'm sorry?
Did you hear about Christian McCaffrey when he caught the pass in practice today and had a nasty collision on the sideline?
No.
Nope. I was reading that a little while ago.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
Oh, no. Already? Not even in camp, not even at the end of camp. Will's got to check that out real quick. That being said, first thing I see out of Lions camp is Cephas doing a one-handed catch over Will Harris and going in for the touchdown.
I see it now.
Collided with a photographer.
Oh my. Yeah. Keegan Eckerd on the Panthers says Darnold will be traded or released.
So there's a tweet that by some guy from AP Press, I guess Associated Press. He made a grab near the sideline, collided with the team photographer stationed about 10 feet off the sideline. CMC is fine, but appeared a little annoyed. Immediately, coaches yelled, "Get off the sideline!"
And I'm reading the same tweet.
Yeah. So photographer. Get the hell away from the football field. Stay at least 20 yards more.
I thought that would see, wow. I mean, it kind of depends on what happens. It wouldn't have mattered even if Deshaun Watson gets suspended for a whole year. That was the prime target, not to mention basically a homecoming for Deshaun Watson. You could have sweetened the deal with McCaffrey because, Houston loves trading great players for
washed up running backs.
Yes, I was going to say, literally you took the words out of my mouth.
I saw it coming.
I mean, you could have got Deshaun Watson.
I think Chuba Hubbard's going to turn into a decent back. Do I think he'll be top 10? No, I think he'll be decent.
Yeah, I have only
that's your other running back.
I have only 3 teams in the league that are in that 3 to 6 win window, and it's Seahawks, Texans,
Yep.
and
Yep.
Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
Stephen King says, laughing my fucking ass off.
Yeah,
I
no,
love
that's
that
true.
Falcons name.
No, I do too. Anytime we could diss names about, like, I call the Saints the Aints, of course. I call the Falcons whatever you just. The
Falcons, Falcons.
Yeah, exactly. And I call the Buccaneers the Succaneers.
Bucket
Or the
Queers.
fucking Queers. Yeah,
Bucket of Queers. Where do you
Gay boat.
shop? The gay boat. Oh,
With the cannons and the gay boat.
that being said, till somebody does it, just like the Packers here in the North, the Buccaneers are the kings of the South for right now.
They are, unfortunately.
That division is not good. People think the Saints are going to be good. I'm like, why?
They are not.
What's going on with Slant Boy? I haven't heard anything about him in months.
Still recovering from that knee injury.
Slant Boy's going to be demoted to their second receiver.
I swear to God.
I think he's going to be demoted to third because if Garrett Wilson is half as good as he looked last season, because he surpassed Olave.
Who do you got? Garrett Wilson? Olave. Who do you have second?
I mean Olave and Jarvis Landry.
I forgot Jarvis. Yep.
The Saints have.
Yeah, they got Jarvis Landry.
Oh, so they have Jarvis Landry and tall Jarvis Landry who may not play.
Right.
I don't remember. That's a good trivia question.
The answer is tacos.
I believe it was the same 06 season. Well, 06 and then 07. That is a great trivia question. I have no idea what.
Tom?
So hang on. Let me get the right.
I may be able to answer
timeline.
it correctly.
There's no way.
I bet I could. At least try.
In 2000, well, after the 06 and 07 seasons, former Aints receiver Marcus Colston broke the NFL record for catches in his first 2 seasons. Whose record did he break? It's since been eclipsed by Odell Beckham, who's the only good one, then Jarvis Landry, and then Michael
want to
Thomas.
say Calvin Johnson.
It was not Calvin. Only had like 40 catches his first year.
Oh, you're talking about rookie wise.
Yeah, first 2 seasons.
Oh,
I think it was like Jerry Rice, maybe, or
yeah, Jerry Rice or Randy Moss.
That's what I would have guessed.
I think Randy Moss had the record for rookie receptions when he did it.
Justin Jefferson broke it since then.
Oh yeah, Justin Jefferson and then Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase did not break it.
Oh, he got close. Julius Hawk says Reggie Wayne.
I don't think it's Reggie.
It might be Reggie.
Juju, Odell,
And-
McCaffrey that doesn't count, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Justin Jefferson.
Alvin Kamara is expected to be suspended anywhere from 8 games to 2 years.
And he
Is
should
what
be.
I've seen.
And he should be.
Peace out, you suck.
Yeah, I'm sick of him.
You know what he is, or was? I mean, still is. It's DeAndre Swift if Swift can stay healthy.
Keegan Eckert says, "Did anyone see what Rodgers was wearing when he showed up
it was
to camp?"
hilarious.
Yes, you know who he looked like? Cameron Poe, Con Air.
Yes, I saw that meme. Yeah, white
That's
beater.
what they've said. That's what they've said on ESPN.
Or K-Fed if he let his hair grow out.
Julius Hawk also says, "I don't think he dropped a pass in his first or second season about Reggie Wayne," and that is probably true.
True.
Speaking of which, what's the play calling change? How many drops did Amon-Ra St. Brown have when he got his last 600 yards?
None.
One.
No, none.
None.
He had
Reggie Wayne
one to start the season and none at the end of the season.
Reggie Wayne actually only had 76 catches his first 2 years in the league.
And he played for the 06-07 Colts.
Yes, the 06 Colts won the Super Bowl against the Rex Grossman Bears.
That was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious because everyone's like, the only thing good about that Bears team was Devin Hester, and their defense had Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher. That's it.
Right.
They had an older Musa Muhammad, and they had I think it was rookie year Greg Olson.
And who was their running back that was doing good that year?
Who was it? Cedric Benson?
Cedric Benson.
Yes.
I'm 27, but I remember things from like 15 plus years ago for some reason.
Yeah, we all rattle stuff off from a long time ago that we forgot about.
Like Dom gave me the nickname thing, I think once. Wasn't it WizKid Will? Dom,
Yes.
you called me once?
Thomas Jones was the lead
Thomas
back.
Jones, yes. He was a Jet and
kind of underrated.
He was. He was. He just wasn't a great receiver out of the backfield.
Underrated that I kind of liked was Darren Sproles.
Oh, yeah. Darren Sproles was the Energizer Bunny of little running backs.
He's my favorite little guy besides Barry. You know who else I like? Boston Scott.
You know who else I like? Warwick. As much as I hate to say it, and he played for two teams you play against. Your team plays against. Will was Warwick Dunn.
Yeah, Warwick Dunn. The cool thing about it is, I'm a Deshaun Watson Clemson fan, but the cool thing is when Deshaun lived in Atlanta as a kid, his house was a Habitat for Humanity house. Warwick Dunn helped build that house.
That's awesome. That being said, about Deshaun Watson and Clemson, did you hear the only reason why he took the offer? Because he had that no trade clause with the Browns? Because all the other teams rubbed him the wrong way.
Because the Texans and the Browns love making exchanges for quarterbacks. The last one was Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, and he sucked.
Ben Smith, a Patriots fan, comes in and says, "What's up, brother?"
None much. Don't like your team, though.
Wow.
I'm serious, dude.
Smithers says, "How do you feel about the Rams this season?"
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Going back to the Super Bowl.
Take it, Dom.
NFC Championship.
Well,
I think it's coming down to the Rams and Bucks.
I do too.
Yeah, but we already saw how that story goes. Okay, let's see what I got.
This might be a Tampa Bay no Gronkinier revenge game. Now that they got Zach Rudolph.
Actually, I'm kind of worried because so obviously the Rams are the prohibitive favorite. Like they're going to win the division, obviously.
No, they're not.
I was going to read it so you could answer it.
Who's going to win the division then, Dan Leonard? The Seahawks?
Nope.
The Cardinals?
Nope.
San Francisco?
49ers?
San Francisco with Trey Lance?
Yep.
No,
I got Rams.
Garoppolo is better in the regular season.
4 more wins.
I've got the Rams window of wins at 10-13. I got the 49ers at 8-11.
Not that the Seahawks were a threat, but Russ is gone.
I agree. I agree with you, Jeremy.
Essentially a rookie quarterback starting for San Francisco.
This Patriots fan, actually, I'm thinking about placing this bet because I've said it all for like 3 weeks now, and Dom is a witness to it. Ben Smith says Rams versus Bucks in the NFC Championship, Bengals versus Bills in the AFC Championship.
I was just about to say.
I can actually see that happening.
That's a good one. Can I say something real quick to go to the McCaffrey question?
Absolutely. Let me bring it up.
Go ahead.
Will, do you think McCaffrey will finally have a full season or still be McGlass and get injured again?
I hate that nickname for him. I think he'll play the whole season. Honestly, we have a better O lineman. Will he have the 1,500 yards rushing? No. I think his numbers are definitely going to be down still because he is coming off an injury. But no, I think because we drafted a good O lineman, Ike Ekwonu, I think he's going to play the whole year.
Yeah, and he's a great guard.
And he's a great guard.
I do not.
And we have Taylor Moton, so I think he does.
No, and you want to know why?
13 games.
Because Darnold's not going to win the job. So you say it's Baker Mayfield, right? What does Baker Mayfield do in order to be successful? Leans on the run game. I can't remember there's a magic number with Baker I think it's over 30 attempts, and his win percentage gets like cut in half.
I still think, to each his own.
You
Dom.
better just keep as many running backs and like an extra fullback as you can,
Jeremy,
and just run the ball every single time.
Jeremy, Dom is flying down to Charlotte for the Lions game, and we're going to be hanging out. I think we're
He
going to
told
be
me.
hanging out.
That'd be awesome.
Dom, if you buy me a ticket to the game, I will pay you back.
So
For
this
sure.
format that I'm doing now, my Wednesday show is going to stay like this, but also at the end of the show during the regular season, we are going to go through and do a pick'em game for the games throughout the week, all 16 games each week.
Hey, if you need me, I'm down.
Okay.
Back to the Rams.
Yep, go ahead there. John Matthew Stafford is God.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, who's John Matthew? Oh, wait, that's Stafford's real name.
There's nothing standing in his way in the entirety of the NFC. He's already proven he can beat Tom Brady. Honestly, nice. The only thing that keeps the Rams out of the Super Bowl is the Lions.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Said it before, I'll say it again. We're making the playoffs. Thank you, Green Bay, for the walkover win. I'd rather go to Green Bay and beat them, but if not, we're going to the Rams and beating. Well, yeah. Who doesn't have the number one seed? You watch. Then we give Stafford the bag.
They beat you by 20 plus.
Last year with the Last year with the ragtag roster and the worst wide receiver core in the league, when we played them, they beat us by 3 points.
Wow.
And then we beat them with third stringers against their backups for a half. The only thing standing in the way in the NFC is the Lions. The only thing standing in the way in the AFC is Josh Allen.
No, there's one other team standing in the way in the AFC, and nobody's talking about it. They might be slightly overrated, but I really don't think they are, and that's the Chargers.
Yes, Herbert is a boss. I like
Chargers going Charger. I'm just not talking about Justin Herbert whatsoever the entire season until he makes the playoffs and wins again. Actually, just make the playoffs.
All he had to do is take a knee. Overtime. If they took a knee, the Steelers wouldn't have been in, right? Because it would have been a tie with the same amount of wins. Am I right or wrong?
You're correct. Two other things about the Rams.
Because remember, that they lost to the Steelers is why the Steelers got in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because T.J. Watt was all over Justin Herbert like white on rice.
Yep.
An embarrassment of riches at wideout. And I'm hearing now OBJ might be on the block, and the Packers look like a possible destination. He's going to miss half the year.
He's a free agent. He's not on the block. He's a free agent. The reason why nobody signed him is because there's no guarantee on when he's coming back from that ACL, because it was the second ACL tear on the same one.
To get to Ben's question thing, if Rule screws this up, he's fired. 100% he is.
Yep. AFC standings predictions. Number 1, the Bills. Number 2, the Bengals. Number 3, the Chargers. And number 4, the Colts. I actually can see it happening, but because the Colts, with Matt Ryan, who's a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, that's all that they lost that division by was Carson Wentz.
I agree with 1 through
3.
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and
Can we just contract the entire AFC South?
Dom, wait. I got number 3, the Chiefs. Number 4, someone else. I think the Colts are good. Don't get me wrong. They rely really heavy on Jonathan Taylor, but they also have Michael Pittman. But I think the Colts are 5 or 6.
That's why the Colts don't win that division. Maybe not even make the playoffs. Jonathan Taylor.
Wins the division? That division sucks.
It's a 2-horse race between the Titans and Colts because the Jaguars and Texans have no shot.
Yeah, Tennessee wins it with maybe even on a tiebreaker. Depends on. Well, for one, like I said, Jonathan Taylor's getting hurt. It's
And
a
it also
fact. It's a
depends if
guarantee.
Derrick Henry doesn't get
Derrick
No,
hurt.
Henry,
because-
I'm
wait,
hearing he may
they
never be the
drafted
same.
Mini Derrick Henry, though, with Hassan Reddick. He's about the same speed. He is extra
Listen,
strong
Michigan
for his
homer.
size.
Wait, who's
no,
mini Derrick Henry?
Hassan Haskins.
I don't know that guy.
He's a Michigan running back. Jeremy's a homer.
No,
He might get a
reps.
bunch of
He
carries.
had more bench reps than most of the defensive ends in the draft.
Whoa,
That's
speaking
awesome.
of bench, did you see that Nick Chubb video the other day?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That guy's getting big.
And who do you have via the dumpster fire or the AFC North? If Watson gets suspended, I say it's the Browns.
Yes.
If he doesn't, then it's the Steelers.
Yes. Did you guys? Okay, go
Josh
ahead.
Rosen is winning at least 6 games.
Go ahead.
I think he can beat out Jacoby Brissett.
Who else did they have? No one of consequence.
No one.
No one.
No, they traded
Um,
Baker.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they traded Baker. He's right.
What was it? Did you guys ever see the meme? And I need to send it to Dom if he hasn't seen it. It's a picture when Derrick Henry, and it was the national championship game at the coin toss against Clemson, and Mark Ingram was the honorary captain for Alabama. He was standing next to Derrick Henry and said, it showed Derrick Henry, and then it said above Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry's kid.
That's funny.
That's how much shorter he is. I was like, dude, I need to send that to Dom. That is like my favorite NFL meme.
I mean, the only thing I really liked out of the Falcons draft was Drake London.
True.
That's
I
why
think Ritter's pretty good, though.
I think Ritter will be good in a year or two because he was raw.
Mariota's a bridge quarterback. Mariota's
I hope-
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And guess whose Ritter's pro comp is?
Who?
Mariota.
Mariota.
Oh,
That's why they did that, is so that they could bring him there.
I don't think he's that mobile.
Now, he
Yeah,
was. He was till the knee injury.
I just hope he plays well enough so that Atlanta doesn't draft a quarterback because Mariota's getting hurt.
Oh, there it is.
You need to start writing down these prop
Wait.
bets.
Browns also have Joshua Dobbs, but he won't play unless Brissett and Rosen get
Oh,
hurt.
God. Wait. The one who played for the Steelers? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Get
Yes,
rid of
Dan.
that dude.
You forgot the Falcons drafted Troy Anderson, too.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Did you
I
see?
have a question for you, Dan.
What's up?
It's a 2-part.
Ooh.
Not that you're going to make the playoffs, but
What's up?
you won't. It's unfortunate. I mean, you could. You only need about
wait.
7. You only need about 7 wins and a tiebreaker in that division.
When you're
Is A, will Saquon stay healthy? B,
No.
is your O-line good enough?
Yes.
yes.
Because I was looking, so I thought he was just out there floating around in the world, but Tyrod Taylor is the backup in the Meadowlands.
Yep.
When the paint in the end zone is blue.
Saquon's not playing a whole year. I'm calling it right now.
I think he'll probably miss 2 or 3 games, honestly. But they
I
said
agree.
he's getting better. We got a new strength and conditioning people. He's looking good so far in practice. He's caught and he's making catches again, and he's not going to be used the same way.
Is Thibs at camp yet?
Not that I saw. I know. Well, actually, yeah, they got him penciled in as our starting freaking outside linebacker.
How's Neil looking?
Oh, yeah, you got Evan Neal, too.
Yes.
Look anything at Neil yet? I was kind of just more impressed with that rookie wide receiver, Wendell Robinson. We got.
I don't know him.
Damn good.
He's out of Kentucky. He's damn good. He was one of the main reasons why Will Levis had such a good season this past season.
Isn't Will Levis
Really
supposed to be
bad.
drafted really high next year?
I'm buying Dan a red alternate Kenny Galladay jersey, and you have to wear it every week.
I have my question for Dan. What's it like knowing you just signed the Kenny Galladay of defensive tackles and Nick Williams?
He was cheap. I don't even care at this point. We just needed some depth.
I had to go there. Guy had been here for 2 years, sat out for COVID, and then missed like the first half of the season.
That's usually how it goes. But you know what? I'm kind of impressed by Darnay Holmes and freaking what's his name? Adrian Robinson, the two cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Holmes had 2 interceptions today in practice, and freaking Robinson was locking down everybody else.
Cool.
Okay.
We need somebody that's gonna at least kind of fill in for that James Bradbury loss.
And it was announced today, something that I said on the podcast I was a part of last year at the end of the season. Will Harris has been confirmed as a cornerback on the depth chart, and Ife Melifonwu has been moved to safety for the Lions.
Hmm. Preseason. Go ahead.
Ben Smith has a question about training camps. During training camp, every lineman on both sides have to wear padding on their helmets. Do you think that running backs should have it? Absolutely. Because how many times do you hear about a simple hit causing a concussion in training camp?
Louis Delmas.
Yeah.
Trying to kill his own teammates. I have a good question.
Stephen King said sign Nick Williams to what should be more along the lines of what Kenny Galladay should have had for a contract.
Not fucking wrong. Well, at least next year we can get rid of him.
Yep, he's all of that stuff. But Ben Smith, I completely agree that the running backs should have full pads under their helmets as well too.
Didn't we trade the Giants Golden Tate as well?
He was a free agent and he's still a free agent and more than likely to retire.
No, I'm saying when we got rid of him.
Oh yeah, we traded him to Philly. Philly cut him in the offseason.
That's right. We stole snacks
and then they
from
picked
them.
him up. Yep, we did steal snacks,
The Hall of
and we
Fame
stole Romeo Aquara off their practice squad.
Yes. But
Yes.
You know what? He was hurt a lot.
He was, and he's still hurt now, and more than likely because he's coming along, but he's behind schedule to even make the start of the season.
The Hall of Fame games next week.
Yes.
Who is it? Raiders? Someone.
I don't.
Vegas.
Dom, look it up.
Hall of Fame game for next week.
It is Raiders and the London Jaguars.
Tell me, man.
Soon enough, they'll be the one that
You guys think?
Speaking of, isn't there actually for the first time ever? Isn't there a good London game this year?
I don't remember. You have the phone.
I know
they're playing a game in
Giants are at Packers in Wembley.
Packers are going to destroy them.
That's not a good game.
No, it's not. Packers do not travel well over there. You want to know what's funny? Is the Lions have a better record in London than the Packers do. They're 2-1 in London.
I don't think the Packers have had more than, one game?
Wow. This is a hot take from a Patriots fan. Ben Smith says, the Lions have a good wide receiver core, and in my opinion, it's the best in the division.
Oh, yeah. Once Williams gets healthy, and then you got Amon-Ra. Yeah, it's a good one.
It's good. I have it as second best because I think the Vikings have the best in the division.
True, because you got Thielen
Justin Jefferson, Thielen, and KJ Osborne.
I agree.
Thielen's washed.
No, he's not.
It is Jags in the Hall of Fame game. Wow. That's going to be a slaughter.
There's 4 London games this year.
Yep.
Minnesota and the Saints. That could be okay. Giants, Packers.
Give me Minnesota. Give me
Broncos, Crapsonville, and then Tampa, Seattle.
Broncos.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's the one I was thinking. That Tampa, Seattle is in Germany.
Right. That's the one in Berlin.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully Hitler comes back from the dead and thinks that Tom Brady's a Jew.
Wow. I thought I heard it all.
Auschwitz. It's
that's so wrong. Yeah, that's so wrong. But funny. Oh, it's Munich, not Berlin. Sorry.
Whatever. It's all the same. Germany's Germany.
Not really. That's my heritage.
Same.
Hey, all Eastern European to me.
What I'm
Even
interested
thing
to see.
That was just confirmed. You're right. It is in Munich.
Yep. What I'm interested to see is how the NFC East shapes out in 2 years when Tom Brady is the quarterback of the
Giants.
Dolphins. AFC, I meant.
AFC East? It'll be next year. His contract is done after this year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
He's either going to retire or he's going to the Dolphins after
He's either going to retire and start being a commentator on Fox with that massive contract, or he's going to go to Dolphins and Tua will be on the bench.
Tua needs to already be on the bench. That guy sucks.
Don't tell that to John Shearer.
Oh,
and Ben Smith says it's in FC Bayern Stadium in Munich.
Nice.
Thanks for the confirmation.
I'll be interested to see what the
and Ben Smith agrees he's going to Miami.
What the makeup of the fans are. Yeah, I was going to say. You heard it here first.
We said this last year. What are you talking about?
You're right, we did.
As soon as we looked up free agent quarterbacks coming up in 2023, you were like, oh, Tom Brady to the Dolphins. And it makes sense because Giselle's modeling agency has got an office out of there.
Yeah, she's like, fuck Tampa. That's the only reason she let him come back. She was like, either you get one more year, or if you want to play more than 1 year, we're moving to Miami.
I love Giselle, though. She's gorgeous.
She's mid.
I never really saw it with
that's
her.
The thing about Brady, though he retired once, couldn't handle his kids, and then came back.
Yeah, he's probably like, damn it, why are you running around the house?
Florida at that time had higher gas prices than Michigan. Giselle looked at the gas pump filling the Hummer and said, fuck it, go back to work.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what Brady's go-to car to drive is.
Prius.
And every time somebody says Prius, it makes me think of Jeff Tunham and Peanut when he says, do you know what people say when they see a blue Prius on the expressway and you drive by? Homo.
Or the one that goes, I'm gay.
Yeah. That's when it's going at highway speed. Oh, God.
So the Giants right now are the betting favorites to land Jimmy Garoppolo in a trade.
Oh, I can see it.
Huh.
Well, because the Browns don't have any draft capital anymore since they gave it all for Watson.
I never even thought for a moment about Jimmy G to the Giants. It makes sense. I thought he was going to Washington last year.
Everybody did. As soon as they traded all those picks to move up to get Trey Lance, everybody said bye-bye Jimmy G, and then they said Trey Lance is Jimmy G's starting, and we're like, why?
I don't know what they had draft-wise, but like the Colts, I would have been more on the Jimmy G train than the Matt Ryan train. Tom Brady's insane car collection worth over $4 million and includes a $3 million Bugatti Veyron and 2 Aston Martins.
The Bugatti Veyrons are very beautiful cars.
And his daily driver, a Toyota Prius.
Keegan Eckert comes in and says, I heard that Giselle is liking her friend's new boy toy, Zach Wilson.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
The best tagline in football right now is Zach Wilson off of that meme where it says throwing bombs and banging moms.
Wait. Houston has all those picks, and that's like a walkover division. If I was Jimmy G, I'd be like, send me to Houston.
They believe in Davis Mills too much.
Yeah. Lost John Mechie for the entire year because of the leukemia.
Yep, John Mechie just lost out. That happened Friday about him.
Yeah, but they said it's the most treatable form.
What happened to Mechie?
He has leukemia.
Leukemia. He's going to miss the season.
Oh.
And if it advances, he may have to retire.
Who else has got a bunch of draft picks?
Seattle. But they already said they're not trading in the division.
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
I was going to say the Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder have a buttload of picks for next year.
Kansas City got a bunch.
They don't need him. Are you kidding me?
Obviously, right. Be real.
That doesn't make sense.
Be real interested to see what happens with Kansas City this year.
So, Giants are possibly looking for a quarterback next year, right? They make the trade for Jimmy G, and then they trade him to the Seahawks to get the buttload of picks.
Yeah, I doubt that happens.
Jimmy G will retire before he ever suits up with the Seahawks.
That'd be funny, though, if it happened.
I honestly thought he was going to end up back as a Patriot.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
When we were talking about the offseason, Don, just before I left the other podcast, I said there won't be one flashy major signing in Detroit. They would all be prove-it players for one more year because they're not ready to take that step to playoff land yet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We both called DJ Shark and Jared Davis to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And I specifically called Aiden Hutchinson would fall to the Lions at 2, and we would take a wide receiver when we should take a safety in the first round or linebacker.
Yep.
Cine was already gone by our original pick, though, right?
No, he went at 32 to the Vikings.
Oh, that's right. Jimmy G's already 30. He's not. It makes no sense for the Giants to trade for him. They're not.
Here's the thing about Jimmy G. You say the Niners could possibly get maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick. Look at some of the game manager quarterbacks that's been traded already that people gave a buttload of picks for already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what? Baker's has better upside than he does, and they only got a conditional fifth. So
but Jimmy G's a winner.
Right. He wins 80% of the games he starts.
And he doesn't lose you games like Baker does.
Now, you better stop hating on Baker. You're still on that Ohio State thing.
Has nothing to do with Ohio State. He played in Oklahoma.
Same thing.
I wanted Baker Mayfield as a reclamation project. Would have been this year. Well, last year.
It would have been last year when we were talking about it because they had just won their playoff game and then lost to a good team. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why they won a playoff game is they played the worst 11-0 team I ever seen in my entire career as a fan, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It would change so many things, but you can't tell me you'd be mad about Baker Mayfield on the cheap.
No.
And why am I drawing a blank on his name? He took the USC job.
Oh, wow.
Lane Kiffin. Kiffin.
No.
Oh, not fucking Lane Kiffin.
Oh, Lincoln Riley.
Yes. Same reason I wanted Jalen Hurts.
That scares me.
Jalen Hurts is freaking Carson Wentz, but faster.
I think he's poor man's Lamar Jackson.
That's what I was going to say.
Not as dumb.
He's the dress lily version of Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is the wish version of Michael Vick.
Yep.
Yep.
Who was it? Somebody just said something the other day. It was some former player just talking mad shit about Lamar Jackson.
It was the safety that played for Pittsburgh. What was his name?
Ryan Clark?
Yep, Ryan Clark.
About he could win 12 MVPs. Doesn't mean shit. He's never going anywhere.
Right. He can win 12 MVPs and never make the Super Bowl.
No, to this day, unless you count Steve Young, which I kind of do, no mobile quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl.
Well, there's a big difference between a guy who can run and throw the ball and a guy who throws the ball and can run.
True.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Lamar Jackson all day is a top 10 athlete in this league.
Athlete, absolutely. Quarterback, no.
I agree, Dan.
I didn't say anything about quarterback because I'm not going to trash him.
Top 3 running back.
And James Stricker comes in and says Steve Young was mobile. Yes, he was, but he was a quarterback who could run, not a running back who could throw. That is my point.
Oh, this is what I was trying to say earlier. What's the predictions for surprise playoff participant and surprise like Bengals-esque run? I don't think anyone's making a run like the Bengals did.
Oh, according to Bucky Brooks, if everything goes right for these three teams, they are the one. And he said the Jags of all teams.
I can see it.
Then he said the Pittsburgh Steelers, because with Mitch Trubisky, he tends to win more than he loses.
Yeah, but he's going to get benched with a winning record like he did the last time because they want baby hands Pickett, the hometown guy.
Right. And then his third team he mentioned was the Detroit Lions at 3-13-1, with only having 5 blowouts and being in the other 5 games. They have a chance to shock the world.
Yeah, 100%. And that's not me being Homer. We could, I mean, a handful of things have to go right. But it's like we said, like with all the discontinuity in our division.
And I said that about Minnesota, and I had a Minnesota fan, and I said, be realistic. You have a totally new offensive scheme, but you have tons of offensive talent. You've got defensive talent for a 4-3 scheme, and you're switching to a 3-4. There will be growing pains. And on average, for every team that does a complete scheme change like that, it's a 4 to 6 week window before they catch on.
I saw your comment, Keegan, and I'm not ready for it. I'm too young to die.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't even want to post it, but it's on Facebook already. So, Keegan Eckert says top teams for Jimmy G is Seahawks, Saints, Giants, Commandos, and it's Commanders, but this is a long shot. But the Lions, the Lions don't have the cap room for a $26 million salary.
They do if the other team eats some of the cap.
Right, but it's not like, well, I mean, it would cost more than the nothing that it did originally because of the restructure. But we could cut Goff relatively cheap.
Next year.
I've said this before, like, what if we get to the playoffs and Jared Goff is the reason that we lose?
That's a different story. But he could be the reason we lose, but there's going to be a part of it that's the defense too, because it is a team sport.
I mean, probably. Much like, the game against Dallas, like people try to say it was the picked up PI flag. No, it was all the offensive penalties and the inability to score more than 3 points in the second half.
Yep, and a lot of it had to do with the play calling. We were running on first down, doing short passes on second down. Who's going 13-3? Facebook user asked. You mean 13-4 because it's 17 games.
Bills.
13-4 teams: Bills, Chargers, or Chiefs. Rams, Bucks, Packers.
How in the fuck are the Chargers going to win 13 games?
They revamped that defense a lot.
It's the Chargers.
And who has Brandon Staley in his second year, who is a defensive-minded coach.
Let me look at their schedule. That division's too tough. It's the Chargers.
Oh, look at this. And we got Mike Crabtree, I believe there, our resident Ravens fan. Correct? Or do we got Mike Mitchell Sledge, the Texans fan? Is that who that is?
He's going to get that Kyler deal.
So what do you have the Texans going this year?
Texans, I would say 4 wins easy. 4 wins. I don't expect.
I'll be right back, guys.
Here.
All right. Yeah, I kind of agree. I had them in a 3 to 6 win window tops. Because you have some teams on your schedule that should be easy games, but for some reason last year you guys found a way to lose the easy games and win a couple of the hard ones.
I mean, it really depends on what Davis Mills does. I mean, this is his second year. He improved week by week last year. I just don't see it happen with the way the roster is structured. I don't think we do much at all.
It hurts with the John Mechie news with him having leukemia.
That news was the worst. I thought he might actually start this year. He was looking.
Yeah, he had a good chance to be the wide receiver too, is what I was hearing.
Good chance, very good chance.
Facebook user says, "Can the Lions go 10-7?" That is my ceiling. Absolute. If everything goes right, that is my ceiling for them. I still say it's a 7 to 10 win window for the Lions. I also have the same thing for the Vikings because the Vikings are going to go through growing pains with the complete scheme change and coaching change.
You might be right about the Chargers because they do get the entire AFC South.
Charles McLean says, "I think the Texans go 5-12." So what are your team's strengths and what are their weaknesses there, Mitchell?
Strengths, we have an excellent wide receiver in Brandon Cooks, and I think that connection is going to grow as Mills progresses in the season. I honestly think he's our franchise quarterback. Do I think that we make noise in the playoffs this year? Not with this roster. I would like the draft corner to get secondary help. Our secondary was a dumpster fire last year. Losing our safety also hurt. So getting a hybrid corner / safety. I know he's listed as a safety. The dude plays more of a hybrid role and will probably play closer to the line of scrimmage than what you would think. In Petrie.
Nice. What is
from Baylor.
Yeah. What is your weakest position overall?
Owner.
Facebook user says, "I think the Lions win 6 or 7 wins for sure." Well, the reason why I have the floor at 7, we got 3 wins and a tie, which counts as 3.5 in Vegas. And that was exactly what they predicted the Lions would do. So with the increased talent depth we have, the wide receiver core, the top 3 O-line, if they're all healthy, if they're able to stay healthy, 7 wins should be everybody's floor because you should be able to double that 3.5.
Maybe don't even bet that over on the Lions for the 6.5. Definitely bet the under on the fucking Bears for the same 6.5.
I already did both bets.
Bet in before they change them.
I put both bets in already. The over and the under. Over for the Lions and under for the Bears. If it's the under for the Bears, I get 158 back. If it's the over for the Lions, I get 198 on a $50 bet.
Make it a parlay.
No, I did it on 2 separate bets.
So let me ask you this, Texans fan. If you guys bottom out, like if Mills is just bad or gets hurt and you end up with, I mean, you're probably going to have one of those top 3 picks. I mean, if he gets hurt, I would give him another year. But if he's just bad, do you try to replace him?
Honestly, I don't think you replace him. I think you go with the backup and Kyle Allen. I think he's going to be a pretty darn good backup for us. And honestly, if Mills gets hurt, Kyle Allen's good enough, and we're not going to make the playoffs. So
Kyle
I'm
Allen
just going into the draft.
Backup.
Like, do you want one of those quarterbacks?
I have to see what Davis Mills does. I saw enough promise from him. The Chargers game, for example, there was a throw he did to, I believe it was Philip Dorsett. He's not even open. He throws it to him, and there's this limited window of opportunity. And I mean, it's such a small window. It was an elite quarterback type throw, and he throws it where only his guy could get it. Like, there was no, he threw him open is what I'm getting at. That's an elite quarterback throw.
Philip Dorsett, that guy's still alive?
He's still alive, and he's fast as hell, but, I mean, he drops a lot like what he used to do. He was a dropper and injured.
Yep.
I think Kyle 2 of your wins against Jacksonville, but you also beat
the Chargers,
Tennessee, and the Chargers. Wow, let me see that box score. Did Davis Mills actually out? Oh, that's the wrong one. Where'd it go? It was high scoring.
Yeah, that was actually a really fun game to watch. I'm actually impressed with what the Lions are building. I honestly think in 2 to 3 years they could take the North. And I wouldn't say that's outrageous by what they did this year in the offseason.
I can see it.
If, you know,
Oh,
I
Rex
think Goff
Burkhead,
is
that's why.
Rex Burkhead? That's why.
22 carries for 149 yards and 2 TDs. I was like, okay. I was like, Mills had a better game than Herbert.
Rex Burkhead went off in that game. It was a balanced attack, which is rare. We couldn't run the football.
Oh, that's Davis Mills of Stanford. Yeah. Smart.
The best quarterback from last year's draft class. Mark my words.
Davis Mills?
Yep.
2 years ago.
I mean, Mac Jones was the best quarterback in last year's draft class.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Best.
Davis second, and then after that you have
Tom,
a
can
tie.
you respond to my Facebook message?
And Facebook user says, "What's
Just
up,
message
JB
yourself.
and Dom DeRubis?" And
JB's not here.
JB is me, Smokin Jeremy B.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Really?
Charles McClay, I made my division winner picks this year, and they went Packers, Eagles, Bucks, Cardinals. AFC, I have Bills, Ravens, Raiders, and Titans.
Cardinals?
That guy's crazy.
My NFC North prediction is Lions at 1, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Lions are looking good if healthy.
We're not winning the division.
Well, yeah,
Aaron
I
Rodgers
agree.
would have to die.
Andrew Merklinger is the one that said, "Hi, JB and Dom." Facebook user, when Rodgers gets traded or retires, the Lions will have a chance to win the North. Yeah, I think it may be before he retires. After that 3-year contract and as much money as they dumped into it guaranteed, they can't afford for him to retire.
I mean, if you retire, they don't have to pay you, right?
Yeah, but the dead cap gets capped on, and all the bonus money becomes dead cap if it's not repaid.
I don't know what's going to happen with Rodgers. I don't see him playing out that contract, whether or not he retires or gets traded, although the cap hit would be huge. But obviously when he signed that contract, he proved what I said for a while. He doesn't care. Yeah, he doesn't care about winning.
He reminds me of a better version of Jay Cutler. His
Jay Cutler's way better than fucking Aaron Rodgers. Just a better player.
The gay butler. Jay Cutler has one of the... I'm trying to think of who the other ones I've seen going back in history. As far as players that I've seen play live, Jay Cutler has one of the 4 or 5 best arms I've ever seen.
That arm was ridiculous. I just wish he had a better attitude. Like, if he had the attitude to back up his talent.
He's smart. Another one, smart dude, like Davis Mills. Like you have to be smart to go to Vanderbilt. Like they carry the SEC as far as, grade point average.
That's how they got into the SEC.
Oh, man.
With that sweet basketball court that's like 20 feet wider than it needs to be.
Yes.
I think at best we get second place in the division because we're going to be competing hard with Minnesota. Like I said, with their growing pains, they have the same window of win opportunities as we have.
I do have the Bears being in the basement in the North, and I have the Lions either being in 3rd or 2nd place.
That is exactly what I'm saying. It's going to come down. We may end up having the same exact win record as Minnesota, and it'll come down to the coin flip, and we'll probably lose it. Because that's the luck of Lions fans.
We have to sweep Green Bay because we're getting swept by the Bears.
The only thing the Lions have a chance is that the refs open their eyes and Rodgers has his worst season with no receivers. As a Lions fan, yes, I want the Lions to... Well, there we go. And Mike Crabtree enters the building. I'll get to you in just a second. I'm reading a few comments here, Mike.
Do you guys still need me?
If you want to stay on, you can. If not, if you got to hop off, we understand, bro.
I've got to hop off, guys.
Okay,
Talk to you later,
no problem. Thanks for being on, Will. You said your piece about the Panthers. It was a pleasure having you.
Yep, I'll talk to you soon, Jeremy B.
Yep.
Go Panthers, said no one ever.
Right.
Except Panthers fans. Unless it was go Panthers and take the Falcons with you.
You got two of the first 3 picks in that draft class, both quarterbacks, and you still don't have a quarterback. They'll be calling Cam Newton by week 5.
Okay, Charles McLean says, as a Lions fan, yes, I want the Lions to win the North, but I'm also a coach. I want the Lions to win the North with Rodgers as the QB. That way we don't have to hear Packers fans, Lions win the North because Rodgers is not there. I agree.
The last time that happened, and I called it earlier in the season when Rodgers got hurt and we blew it. Was it Caldwell or Schwartz?
Caldwell. Because that was when they put that backup guy in that got the bag, and then Russell Wilson was drafted.
Yes. Matt Flynn.
You're
welcome, Matt Flynn.
Yep. Matt Flynn got the bag off of the Lions game alone. What did he throw, like 6 touchdowns, no TDs? Or 5?
Now I got to see it. It was a lot. It was like over 400 yards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was over 400 yards. It was horrible. It was an abysmal game to watch. That being said, all right, Mike, let's hear what's coming out of your camp. What are you hearing about the Ravens?
The only thing I hear about the Ravens is that our only biggest contest of the season for the division is the Bengals, but we shouldn't sweep on Mike Tomlin. That's all I keep hearing.
Yeah, that's pretty. Have you got any player news, anything like that happened at camp or anything like that, or haven't you been able to watch any training camp video yet?
Honestly, the only thing on training camp that I know of, that I can say it is happily, is that J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters, all with torn ACLs last season, all were there and all were ready. I know they're all still getting steady and still coming back to the game, but seeing those players at the camp right now makes me happy. We're coming back from those injuries last season.
Yep. And Facebook user says, and we all know the refs ride A-Rod's jockstrap. Charles McLean says, Tomlin has never had a losing season, and I don't think they have one this year. I don't know. I have their window of wins at 6 to 9.
Yeah, I think they probably go 8 and 9.
I think this might be their first year with a losing record because you go from Bitch Trubisky to micro baby hands Pickett, who has the only QB with smaller hands than Jared Goff in the entire league.
I think Pickett will throw a pick at 6 sometime during the season.
A pick at 6. I love it.
I forgot it was the season finale. On New Year's Day of 2012, the Lions lost to the Packers 45-41. Matt Flynn, 31 of 44, 480 yards, 6 TDs, 1 pick.
Yeah, I knew it was 1 or 0. Yeah, you, as much as you hate to say it, with no O-line last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers managed. Oh, Joseph Host, that was the sports troll, the fakest account out there for announcing trades in the NFL. Don't ever believe him. No, they did not trade for Debo. Debo is at camp with the 49ers right now.
Why the hell would Minnesota trade for him anyways? Other than to prove my point that Adam Thielen is washed.
I mean,
and he's washed.
He doesn't play
16
games a season, let alone 17.
He's white and he's old.
All right, and where do you have the Ravens' window of wins at this year?
I got the Ravens wins being 13-10.
10-13?
Yes.
I until it happens, I had them at 9-12. I have them 1 behind you. Yeah, and that's just because the Bengals are that good.
No, I can understand that respectfully.
And they also improved their O-line, so Joe Burrow shouldn't have to be counting the rivets in that dome.
Dome, it's open air and it's trash.
That doesn't matter. He's still counting rivets somewhere.
Yeah.
He's not going to be standing up facing forward with his face in the back of the helmet. How's that?
Oh, and he missed the game.
This is going to be
Mixon.
bold. I honestly think that the Bengals take over the AFC North for the next 5 years. I think Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback, and I think they dominate that division.
It's wide open. Kind of.
I have one issue with that, and it's not because I'm a Ravens fan. The issue I have with that is, and this is a big factor that many people don't think, what are the Bengals versus the Browns record the last 3 seasons? 0-6. What's Joe Burrow's record against the Browns? 0-4. Joe Burrow has never beaten Cleveland. I'm not even putting the Ravens in this. I'm putting a factor that another division rival owns the Bengals.
Yeah, they can't.
You can't just sleep on. The AFC North is one of the biggest divisions you can't sleep on because of our defenses, because of how well we know each other. Look,
right.
The rivalry used to be the Packers and Bears back in the day. Now it's Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, because when you see those two teams, it's coming down to a field goal or a touchdown, because that's how well we know each other. I can't tell you we're going into next season being Pittsburgh, knowing the last 2 seasons they swept us, knowing they could play our cards or we played their cards. So I wouldn't say Cincinnati's going to run this division the next 5 years. I would never say that. I can't even say that for the Ravens. I really can't. All I can tell you is the next 5 years division is going to be between Baltimore and Cincinnati. That's all I think I can tell you. Unless Cleveland can change.
I mean, watch out for the Browns 2 years from now when Watson comes back. Although if he gets suspended for another year,
wow,
you're talking about,
that's all I got to say.
You're talking about 2 years of sitting. Like with a running back, with a running back, that's great because it's low mileage. I mean, I've been waiting patiently for most of my life. Well, no, because back then, actually, right when I first got into football, the Browns and the Bengals were the elite of that division, although it was different divisions back then. The Steelers are just too well run. Like, they might be middling for a while, but they're never bad for long. Bad for the Steelers is, 8 wins.
Okay, I got a couple ones here, though. Packers fans are crying that over Jones signing with the Bucks. Jones wants a ring and going to a team that has a chance to win a ring. Absolutely. Joseph Host has the Lions going 8-9. That's still an improvement, and it's in the window of wins. I said they're going to win between 7 and 10. And 10 is everything goes right. I don't see them getting past 10 wins just because of the level of competition at the top of our schedule.
Even 8 wins, I'd be happy as shit.
Right.
Except for
Keegan Eckert says, 10 to 13 wins. That's if the defense improves and they are healthy. That is true. But just like us, that's the only way we're winning 7 to 10 games is if we're healthy.
8 and 9, I wouldn't be mad, other than the fact that one more win might get us in the playoffs, and we're going to be looking at that schedule and being like, "Wow, how did we win 8 games, but 3 of those losses are to those 2 shitty teams in New Jersey and the Jaguars?"
Oh God, shut your whore mouth. Facebook user, hey Mike Crabtree, what can us Lions fans expect from Chris Board as a linebacker?
As a linebacker, you can expect a lot from him because he's very, very well trained, very well coached. I can tell you that very well, knowing him. He's very well trained, knows what he does on the field, knows how to get the job done.
And with your injuries, he became a starter for like the last 5-6 games of the season, right?
Yes, and
he was special teams before that. He's a great special teams player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was about to say. He's actually a great special teams player overall for Baltimore. And did a lot of help.
Wasn't he a linebacker that played the gunner?
Yes.
I have a Ravens-based question for you, Mr. Crabtree.
Yes.
When y'all didn't, however many years ago it was, when you didn't re-sign Rick Wagner, were you mad, or did you know?
I was actually very, very mad because he developed most of how the Ravens were developed in the youth of offense and defense, and he always had John Harbaugh's back. And actually, I'm not going to lie, that when they got rid of him, I was actually very upset. I can't lie about that. I'll be honest with that. Anyone like Greg Roman? I'll trade Greg Roman for another offensive coordinator because this same playbook shit is me pissed off. That's all I'm saying. The Ravens fan.
Your quarterback can't read an NFL defense.
I mean, everyone says that, but every defense he played that was not top notch, he's thrown 5 to 4 touchdowns. He's literally went his first entire full season. He went 14-3, the one loss in the playoffs. I get it. Everyone talks about that, but he had to go against the likes of Tom Brady on a Patriots team that was undefeated. He had to go on Monday night to a number 1 defensive Rams team, throw 5 touchdowns. And everyone goes, oh, he can't do this, do that. Okay, why don't you actually look at his top production games where he actually had to show up and read defenses that were actually there? And yes, you can't read every single defense. Not every quarterback can read every single defense, and every defense isn't the same. And if you see a player over time, many players can read them over and over and over. It's not just one quarterback who gets read over. Yes, Lamar isn't the best thrower, isn't a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. I would say that as a Ravens fan. But at the end of the day,
Isn't
a quarterback, and I've seen
Yeah,
Lamar,
he said that.
Lamar step
appreciate
up.
your honesty.
That's all. And I don't know if it was 2 years ago or whatever, when Lamar played the Browns on that Monday Night Football went back and forth. That was the day that proved to me that Lamar can step up in the biggest game when he needs to. Because that was to get the Ravens into the playoffs and eliminate the Browns from the playoffs. And Lamar had to go out with his cramps and shit and still came back to put his team on his back to win the game. I want to see a quarterback do that, get cramps, listed not to return, and come back to win the game for your team to get to the playoffs. People who hate Lamar keep forgetting what Lamar did. Now, I'm not talking about his MVP season. I'm talking about when he actually steps up for the team to win games. Because it doesn't show much more than what I would consider leadership.
An embarrassing take to me is when they call Lamar just a runner. The game where he threw 400 yards, and I remember watching. He was a high roll magnet, and I was like, "Yeah, he's not just a runner. The dude can beat you with his arm." And
well, that's it. You see flashes where he can do that, and then you see the ones where he throws the ball to center field 3 yards short or over to the safeties, and that's in center field. His field of vision in the center of the field is where he's lacking right now, and that has to do more with decision making than anything else. And you can't tell me I'm wrong on that because it's been proven.
You're absolutely correct on that.
And when he throws from outside of the pocket, he completes passes down the middle. When he's trying to throw over the line, when they're actually giving him a pocket, that is when he struggles in the center of the field.
Because he's used to just scrambling. What I see is 13 picks in only 382 pass attempts. And I see 3 picks, 6 picks, 9 picks, 13.
Well, the first year with 3 picks, he didn't play the full season. Because that was when he took over when Flacco got hurt, if I remember right.
Right, yeah, 7 games. 7, 15, 15, 12. I didn't know he threw that many picks last year.
Right now, Joseph Host asks, who's the best QB in the AFC? Bills or KC or Bengals QB? You know what? The best one you may not have seen in the playoffs yet. Because if Justin Herbert can get that team there, I think Justin Herbert could be the best quarterback in the AFC overall.
I'm going to drive up there and strangle you.
Do it. Strangle him once for me, too.
Saying that man's name.
Herbert.
The best quarterback in AFC. The best quarterback in
Herbert
AFC
is a great quarterback.
Easily the best quarterback right now in the AFC is easily hands down is Patrick Mahomes. And it's not because of his Super Bowl. Here's the reason why. He got the Chiefs, who spent how many years? 50 years without getting to the Super Bowl to win it again. He went back-to-back Super Bowls. He carried his team. I'll go Joe Burrow. Then I'll put Justin Herbert. Then I'll put Josh Allen. Justin Herbert's better than Josh Allen.
Stop with
Justin
the Josh
Herbert
Allen disrespect.
Justin Herbert can move out of the pocket. And Justin Herbert will not throw a ball against double coverage. That is not supposed to. Josh Allen has done that too many times. We need to put Josh Allen in that category. But I'm going to put it, like I said, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Joe Burrow. And number 3, Justin Herbert. I would not have Josh Allen as the top 3 quarterback in AFC. I wouldn't have Lamar
Fucking
Jackson top
mind.
5 quarterback in AFC, to be honest with you, as a Ravens fan.
And Charles McLean says, I'm going Justin Herbert. Andrew Merklinger says, Herbert the pervert. You asshole. Without Reed as a play caller, Mahomes would not be a top 10 QB.
Facts.
That's an interesting take and possibly true, because if Bieniemy takes over, I don't see them being as potent.
They're not going to be as potent without
Andy
Tyreek
Reed
Hill.
is the greatest offensive mind of the 20th century. 21st, whatever.
They built that scheme around Mahomes' skill set.
And how does this man... Oh, I know why. Because he's in his division. How do you have Burrow as the 4th best? I mean, I could understand you having him below Mahomes. Like, Mahomes is probably the best. Josh Allen, I think, has as high or a higher ceiling than Mahomes. He's bigger. He's more athletic. His arm is just as good. Herbert, get out of here with that. I'll take Derek Carr right now before Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow got sacked 700 times in the regular season and 586 more times in the playoffs.
586. Andrew Merklinger asks, here's a question. How many games do the refs ride Rodgers? They win him at least 4 games a year.
And none in the playoffs.
And the only reason why Rodgers cannot beat the 49ers is because he's a closet 49ers fan from a kid, because he grew up in the Bay Area.
I want him to go there and win 8 rings.
Josh Allen, and with all the offense weapons.
Yeah, and as good as that deep... Buffalo had like a top 5 defense last year, did they not?
Yes, they did.
They did.
Josh Allen did every fucking thing he could in that playoff game.
Yep. If they won the coin flip, I don't think, as gassed as both defenses were from chasing those offenses, I whoever won the coin flip was winning that playoff game.
Right.
I know the Lions' record last year, and I know it wasn't great, but I really do think you guys found your head coach. I really do. What I saw from the Lions was fight. I didn't see that under Matt Patricia. Even though they lost a lot of games, some of those games were really close.
I mean, we were in against the Ravens, both games against the Bears. We were in against the Rams. That's 5 games
at the end.
49ers, we had that comeback, and that wasn't a double-digit loss. So there's 5 games that were decided by under 10 points. And then you had the 5 blowouts, right?
I mean, I said it when I saw the schedule. Bunch of close games. We don't win many of them because we're not a good team. Good teams win close games. Plus, we're the Lions, so the whistles aren't going our way. Also, Justin Herbert is not a top 5 AFC quarterback.
Whoa.
Hot take there.
3. I have him 3. I don't even have Derek Carr touching the top 5.
Oh, Carr is above him.
At least Josh Allen doesn't crack under pressure. When the Bucs brought all of that pressure, and Mahomes had just Hill to throw it up to, but when Allen gets pressure, he either gets the ball off quickly or scrambles and fights for a first down. But yet he still throws more interceptions than Patrick Mahomes.
Does he?
Mahomes to that Hill comment. I'm sorry to the Ravens guy, but the Ravens did not beat the Lions. The refs beat the Lions, not the Ravens. Well, we said this already. If Hollywood Brown wouldn't have dropped those 3 key passes, if he'd have caught at least 2 of them, we never had a chance to win that game.
Charles, the refs
Plus, you can't let it come down to a bad call.
6 yards.
All right. We've said this a million times.
Do we get screwed? Like getting the benefit of the doubt on a call? Yes. But we know that now. You can't leave the game in the ref's hands if you're the Lions. You can't do it, period, but you definitely can if you're the Lions.
Yeah, I lost my voice. I want to go. It was cool chatting with you guys.
All right, Mitchell, it was good to talk with you. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. That being said, in that game, the only thing that was key for me at that stop clock play that they were doing, when that clock hit 0, your right tackle jumped when the play clock hit 0. And no flags come out, and 2.5 seconds later, Lamar hikes the ball and spikes it.
I get that.
So kudos to Justin Tucker for hitting the field goal, because that was fucking amazing. I'm not going to lie. But that being said, there's so many times, and even Dan Campbell addressed it at the end of the game, because all the announcers, all of the reporters were asking him about it. And he goes, hey, it is what it is. I'll get a call either Monday or Tuesday. They'll apologize, but the win stays with the Ravens, and we still lose the game. It is what it is. Give kudos to Justin Tucker for the kick, which is exactly how I said it in my editorial. Dom read it, and he goes, wow, it's spot on, and it's not wrong.
I'll be honest with you, they should have called 2 penalties. Should have called false start and should have called the clock ran out. I'll agree with that any day of the week. Then listen.
And with no timeouts, that means a 10-second run off and game over is what I'm saying. Anytime there's a penalty. I agree. And that is one of the few games when Lamar Jackson was held under 50 yards rushing, and God, he didn't even break 300 yards passing in that game.
63, and he's got.
I'm not gonna lie, when I watched that Justin Tucker kick and hit the goalpost and went in.
Every Lions fan rejoiced, and even in the shot when they showed the Ravens fans, they're like, oh, and then all of a sudden it bounced through, and they're like, yay!
I honestly thought I missed. I was like, it hit. I'm like, fuck, we lost. And then it goes in, and they said it's good. I was like, oh shit.
Now best NFC QB, Rodgers or Matthew Stafford? It's actually, you have to, until someone unseats him, and Rodgers hasn't gotten a second Super Bowl. So it's Tom Brady at the top right now.
NFC QB? Oh, that's Tom Brady. 7 Super Bowls. Rodgers has 1. Rodgers ain't
no, it's this guy.
It's Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady. And then I'll put Rodgers in the regular season. Then I have Matthew Stafford.
Has Matthew Stafford finally cracked the top 10 as an NFL quarterback?
Yes, he's actually one of the top 10 rated quarterbacks in the league on Madden, no less. That hasn't happened since the 2011 year when he threw for 5,000 yards, and because he had Calvin Johnson, he was at 85 and always in the 80s. And as soon as Calvin Johnson retired, what did Matt Stafford's rating go to on Madden? 78. Tell me how stupid that is.
Josh Allen has 46 interceptions in 61 games. Mahomes has 37 in 63.
And like I said, he does throw more interceptions. It's proven. Not by much, but he does throw more.
Probably got more attempts. Maybe not. My thing about Josh Allen is, and I said it before the draft, I said he's raw, but he's got the highest ceiling. Imagine if the Browns were smart enough. Like, it's tough. I mean, I wouldn't have taken Baker Mayfield. I would have drafted a defensive player, tried to trade down. But imagine the Browns with Josh Allen.
If they'd have had Josh Allen, they'd have won more than one playoff game that year.
If they had Josh Allen, that could have been the actual paperwork Super Bowl team. Could have been actually a Super Bowl contender, to be honest with you.
Instead of just a paper team.
Had a great offense built around it. And that Browns defense wasn't a joke of a defense at that time period. I'll be real with that.
That being said, we've been on for an hour and a half, and before the bots pop in on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and do my usual thing, which is give some kudos to my sponsors, because that's what pays my bills.
Pay them bills.
A1 Tire and Auto Repair, great used tires and a great price on new tires. I have somebody here that can vouch for it as well. 3 locations to serve you: Call Colin, Saginaw, and Bay City, where I work on Broadway. Come on in and check us out. We give top-notch service at a great price. And Dan Leonard's here. Dan, tell us about Mad Lab Custom Creations. Oh, he must be stepped off still. Well, Mad Lab Custom Creations, they not only have great breaks where you can get custom signed memorabilia, he also paints mini helmets, and they turn out pretty fly when they do it. I wish this was my Amon Ra, but it's a Justin Jefferson, and I will show it for the fans. There it is right there in all its glory. That is a custom drip paint job he did for me, and it's none other than Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Where do you, AFC wide receivers 1 through 5? I mean, granted, he has Tua throwing to him, but I still got Tyreek Hill at number 1.
I've never been a Tyreek Hill.
But in the top 5, you gotta. I think you gotta throw Keenan Allen in there.
I was gonna say, don't forget about Keenan Allen.
Stephon Diggs.
Devontae Adams is actually 1.
Oh, yep, Devontae Adams is 1 now. I forgot he's in the AFC now. I forgot he's a Raider. So used to seeing him against us.
I wanted to see him go somewhere else.
No, I'm not a Vikings fan. I won that in a break, and it was custom painted for me because somehow during shipping it went to the distribution unit and then got brought back to Dan Leonard instead of getting delivered here. So for the wait, he did the custom paint job for me because it took a month to get it. Andrew Merklinger, yep, Jamar Chase is in that top 5, 100%.
Definitely agree.
Let me think. Gosh, because D Hop is in the NFC and not a top 5 because he's going to miss 6 games.
I was just about to say, where's he?
He's
even
with the
at
Cardinals.
Now? Cardinals. Keenan Allen. In no order. Well, I mean, in order. Devontae Adams. I think I might have Jamar Chase 2.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs.
And then I got Keenan Allen and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's probably that's a solid 5. Are we forgetting anyone?
No, because the other guy there for the Chargers, Mike Williams, he's a great route runner and contested catch guy, but he doesn't have the speed to blow the top off. If he was faster, I would move him up, but he is in the top 10. Do you agree with that? With what we have at the top 5 there, Mike?
Yes.
All right.
Definitely agree with that.
Well, then what about NFC?
NFC wide receivers. Well, I think you got to go Justin Jefferson at 1 right now. I don't think there's, and then.
What about CD Lamb at like number 4, number 5?
CD Lamb might be just outside the top 10.
Maybe after this year.
If he performs that well again for another season. The thing is CD Lamb was way behind. Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's number 1. Deebo Samuel's in there.
You said it was definitely.
Cooper Kupp is not ahead of Justin Jefferson.
No, I'm just. Well, he had more yards. He had more receptions.
Matt Stafford effect.
Until Matt Stafford's not there, he's number 1.
Jefferson's better, you know it. His 2 best seasons are better than Cooper Kupp's 2 best seasons.
Who's MVP of the NFC in the NFC and defensive MVPs? Well, if you're talking offensive MVP, I think it might end up either being John Matthew Stafford or Cooper Kupp for a second time because he's still there and he's still throwing to him, and they didn't change the scheme change, so that's not changing.
It could be Brady, not Rodgers.
And the only way Brady gets it is they're the number 1 seed. Chris Godwin barely makes it to top 10. I think he's closer to 10 to 15.
Chris Godwin is not a top 20 NFL wide receiver.
Mike Evans, definitely.
Evans, yes. Evans is probably top 5.
Keegan Ecker says, hate to say it, but St. Brown is 7 or 8. I would actually have him at 9.
I don't think he's even that high.
Well,
hang on. I mean,
923 yards, 5 touchdowns, right?
At this exact moment in time, even though he's old and white and washed, like I think I maybe still have Thielen ahead of Amon-Ra.
I have him at 6. I have Thielen at 6 or 7.
I mean,
at the bottom of the top 10 to 10 to 15, I got Amon-Ra.
I think you might put Darnell. Well, I mean, you won't this year because Justin Fields, but I might put Mooney ahead of Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is better.
So, Dan, did you hear my little take on Mad Lab Custom Creations? I also showed the Justin Jefferson.
Oh, sorry, man. I was using the bathroom.
Oh, Kenny Galladay is definitely top 5.
Best NFC tight ends in the top 10. I'm going to let you guys take that because nature is calling hard. I'll be right back.
Let's see. NFC tight ends.
I actually just saw someone's whole NFL top 10 tight ends, and Hawkinson wasn't in there. And I mean, not to say like, oh, it's a bitch, she doesn't know anything about football, but it could have been a dude. She was getting roasted mostly for not having Hawkinson in the top 10.
Well, that makes sense.
Can we even name 10 legitimate tight ends in the NFC?
Let's see.
Not anyone. No one from Minnesota matters.
Robert Tonyan from Green Bay.
Flash in the pan. Former Lions practice squad player.
Yeah, he's playing pretty good out there with the real quarterback.
Don't they all?
Usually.
Chicago has a good tight end. I don't know. He might be top 10.
Cole Kmet.
I mean, it's Hawkinson, Kittle. Who else is that? Kel Pitts, probably. I can't even. I don't even think I can name 10 starting tight ends in the NFC.
Kittle, Kmet, Hawkinson, Zach Rudolph is back. Do you have him in there with the way he's
Kyle Rudolph?
Or Kyle Rudolph, excuse me. You almost have to because of the red zone targets he'll get, especially with Brady, because Brady loves tight ends in the red zone.
We're talking NFC. Oh yeah, okay, NFC. I mean, if we're just talking NFC, like Zach Ertz is still in there somewhere.
If he could stay healthy, he'd be definitely in Dallas Goedert. Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't talk.
The one from the Cowboys might scratch. Dalton Schultz.
Yep.
It's probably scratched in the top 10.
And I think that's about it. I can't name anybody else because if anybody tries to say Irv Smith Jr. from the Vikings is going to be good, he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, no one other than Hawkinson or Cole Kmet is worth mentioning in our division.
Wait, Robert Tonyan.
God damn it. Dan said that too. Get out of here. He had one good season.
It was one hell of a season.
It was a damn good season, yeah.
Yeah. Is there, other than Ertz, there's really no one in the West, right?
No.
Mike said his Wi-Fi was jacked. He's going to try to come back on.
AFC tight ends are definitely way better.
Yeah, the AFC tight ends as a whole.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so excited for both Hawkinson.
Oh yeah, we're forgetting one. Kyle Pitts.
I said Pitts, but European.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Pitts, who has no touchdowns in the United States.
Yeah. He's a hell of a yardage mover.
Hey, did you see that thing that TikTok with that bench warmer guy today with Kyle Pitts and Drake London?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch of ball busting going around about where he was picked and everything like that. And then somebody goes, and Drake, you were only drafted to troll Kyle Pitts because he's the only place he scored a touchdown was your last name.
It's not so much a bold prediction. Drake London will have twice the touchdowns that Kyle Pitts produces this season. Andrew Merklinger, you need to be slapped for this one. Devin Funches.
Is he still on the roster?
Yes. And Deese is healthy. Griffin's healthy. And the other one came back that was hurt too. James Mitchell is off the PUP list. Wide receivers, Keith Necker goes Metcalf, Debo, and Derwin James are at training camps but are not practicing until they get their contracts. Oh, about contracts. Okay.
Deontay Johnson, too.
Yep, Deontay Johnson. Yep, he's another one holding out. Is that Steelers?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Joseph O says, great show, Jeremy. Have a great night. See you Friday night. Go Lions. Yes, Friday night is the Lions Man Cave chat. It is open to all fans. So if you want to be on, drop a line in the video or send me a message. I will send you a link. You're more than welcome to be on the show. It's fun talking with podcasters, but it's a lot of fun to hear from the fans because it's nice to get the fans' perspective as well. I mean, we're all fans too, but it's different when you get somebody that's normally not on and they could have a different take.
Kyle Pitts and then Jamar Chase and then Jalen Waddle is how we got Penny Sewell.
Okay, Merklinger, I'll send you a link. Don't dominate the time by rambling on and on and on with the same point.
We call that pulling a Jeremy. Not even a fuck you. Come on.
Shut your whore mouth, Dan. How's that?
That works.
Oh, that was just his rookie year. I forgot.
Yeah. Ooh, Pitts?
Pitts and Chase.
Yeah, that was just their rookie year, but the year that Chase had, you got to have him as a top 5 wide receiver, top 10 in the NFL.
10, yes. Probably also 5.
5 in the AFC.
In the AFC.
5 in the AFC and top 10 in the league. And Andrew Merklinger says, Dan, the Lions will beat the Giants this year.
You're funny.
I'll tell you what, the reason why I hate the fact we play both of those New York teams away is the Meadowlands is the crusher of dreams for healthy legs for teams. 33 players injured in 3 years.
Yep.
Facebook user says Lions Super Bowl winners of 2025. I think it may happen sooner.
Really?
Yep. I do.
I don't know.
I think it's going to happen either 2023 or 2024.
Yeah, I don't see it. It just
Not this season that ends in 2023. I mean the start of the 2023 ending in 2024 or 2024 ending in 2025.
I know what you're saying there. I just don't.
Could we get a playoff win this year? If somehow we manage to get the Packers in the wild card, I say we win. That being said, this has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. I want to thank all of our guests tonight. Will Vogel of Sideline Sports, Detroit Dom, Dan Leonard, Mike Crabtree, Mitchell Sledge. Am I forgetting anybody?
That guy.
What guy?
Mike.
And Mike Crabtree, yes.
It has been foretold. I had a premonition.
Uh-oh.
Kenny Galladay, who can't get open downfield. Tyrod Taylor, who can't throw it downfield. That is the key to the Kenny Galladay resurgence.
And Facebook user says, awesome show, guys. And Andrew Merklinger says, if we win a playoff game, Jeremy will jump up and down. No shit. I got the Lions beating Rams in the first round of the playoffs this year.
Thank you, Charles
Woo!
McCain. Said the same thing.
You know who my surprise Super Bowl team is going to be this year? Goddamn Eagles.
Eagles, get out of here.
I hate them, but the goddamn Eagles, man, they're going to be a damn good team this year.
They are going to be a damn good team. I see them upsetting the Cowboys for the division.
I fear Jordan Davis.
I bet you do. He's a mountain of a man.
Yes.
And fast as shit for that size.
What is that? Jordan Davis. He's big. But seriously, think about that. You added freaking A.J. Brown out there, too. They already got freaking Goddard, who's good. They got like 3 freaking running backs there. Well, 4 if you count Hurts. Who else they got a wide receiver? Devonta Smith.
Yeah, and they got A.J. Brown.
Yep.
I think the Eagles win the division, and they could win a playoff game. Who'd they lose to last year in the playoffs?
I'll fucking know. I just wanted them to lose. I don't pay attention to who they lose to.
Was it Green? No, Green Bay lost in the first round. Or no, Green Bay got the bye and lost in the second round.
And Facebook user says, Blue Kool-Aid is going down good tonight. And Andrew Berglinger says, Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay doesn't make it to the playoffs, or through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, I think Brady retires.
Really?
I don't think it matters.
I think it does to him. I think he wants to have it at 8 because no quarterback will touch it.
No, he's going to go to Miami. I mean, he's 75 years old, but he shows no signs of slowing
45,
down.
but that's another story.
Did he throw
in
for
NFL
5,000
years
yards last year?
Yeah, he did.
The
Yet
Blood Oath,
still lost to John Matthew Stafford twice.
as I called in the preseason.
Yeah, we both said it.
I told Tyler, I was like, don't worry. You won't need to beat fucking Tom Brady in the playoffs. Matt Stafford will take care of that for you. Then he lost to the goddamn 49ers because he couldn't score a touchdown. And I had to agree with Joe Buck. It's like the worst moment of my life.
Andrew Berklinger says, wait, if Brady goes to the Lions, we win the Super Bowl.
He's not even from here.
I know. He only went to Michigan. He's not from Michigan. He's a California boy.
Right. How did he even end up at Michigan? He wasn't like highly recruited either, I don't think.
He was a 3-star recruit that came in to Michigan. I think it was that the Lloyd Carr years, or was that that was Lloyd. Still, the only Michigan QB to have a Super Bowl ring, not as a starter, his rookie year, is Brian Griese.
Wow. They're going to fucking start Geno Smith over Drew Lock.
Yep.
Hate that guy.
Geno Smith or Drew Lock?
I don't
Geno
like
Smith.
Drew Lock, but I fucking hate Geno Smith.
That being said, thanks for watching Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. Have a great evening, and remember, try every day to be better than a better person than you were the day before. That is the only way to make the world a better place. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.